Hi everyone, welcome back. So today I'm going to do another video on growing hazelnut trees from seed. So as you can see, there's a hazelnut tree behind me there, and we're in the UK. I'm in Wales. So hazelnuts are really common here, so nobody really wants to grow them, and they're basically considered weeds really. They're in a lot of the hedgerows and stuff, but other than that, nothing special over here. I know a lot of you guys elsewhere in the world are like, oh, hazelnut trees, you could sell them, but probably not, but maybe. But I thought I'd do a little bit more in-depth video on how to grow them from seed. So the wind's kicking up and it's blowing hazelnuts all over the place. So I'll spin you around and I'll show you what I've been up to. So this is a hazelnut tree, originally part of a hedge, but I've let it grow wild for the past 6 or 7 years since we've lived here. So it's really windy at the moment and we're just in autumn, start of September, almost mid-September now, but you can see the hazelnuts all over the place. So they come in these little things and the wind just blows them off everywhere. There's one in there. That one looks like it's got a crack in it, so we won't worry about that one, but these look nice and fresh. And some more. They're absolutely everywhere around here. I've already collected a small pot full, and I could get more. Oh, there's a nice juicy one. We'll get that one. That one looks a bit black. Get rid of him. So I'm looking for nice healthy looking plump ones. I don't think there'd be a problem planting that, but anyway, the healthier looking plumper ones the better. So now that we've collected our hazelnuts, you don't actually have to plant them, but I believe they do need to be out in the cold throughout winter. You can mimic that by putting them in the fridge for like a few weeks, or sort of 6 weeks or something should be ideal. But what I'm going to do is just scatter these somewhere. You can bury them in a pile of leaves somewhere. All you got to watch is if you've got loads of squirrels that they don't come and eat them all. So you can put a bit of chicken wire across the top of them or something. Or you can just plant them in a pot and leave them in a cold greenhouse throughout the winter. But just bear in mind, everything's looking to eat these in the winter, so obviously they won't eat them all. We get them spring up all over the place. But if you bought the seeds and you don't want them to get eaten, just bear it in mind, put a bit of chicken wire across the top, or come up with some other solution to stop the squirrels and the mice and stuff eating them. So like I said, they do grow wild here, so I don't actually need to plant them seeds. I could probably go and look through these pots and find a hazelnut that sprang up somewhere. Okay, so this pot here has got a dead apple tree in it, and then I just planted a tomato plant in there. And I've only just realised we actually had a decent tomato on it. The tomato plant I planted didn't do very well. But I only just noticed, not only is the apple tree resprouting from the bottom, we have a hazelnut in here. So that's a hazelnut seedling that's self-seeded itself in there. So it's just coming into winter, or autumn, so it's losing its leaves now. But there's a nice healthy hazelnut seedling in there. So the other option is, like I said, you can bury them in a pile of leaves. So if I just scraped up all these with all the leaves that are down there at the moment, and for instance I could get a plant pot like this and just, I can see there's some hazelnuts under there, scrape them into a pile, the leaves will break down and the seeds will germinate under there. pop that over the top. It probably won't stop everything, but it will stop the squirrels at least. Although they'll probably just dig under, but they've got plenty anyway, so I don't see why they would bother. And like I said, our hedgerows are a lot of them are hazelnut as well. That one is. These ones are sycamore maple. And they just grow in abundance here where I am. But if you've bought seeds, you may want to look after them a bit better. So collect your seed or buy your seed, and I'll show you planting them up. It's a simple process. We'll take these two. So I've got a few pots here from dead things, trees that haven't survived, so I'll just push them into the soil. So you're aiming to plant them as deep, twice as deep as the seed is long. So that's the top of the seed, that's the bottom of the seed, so the root will come out from this bottom bit, it will crack and come out from there. So ideally place that down and just press it in and then cover them over. It'll grow anyway, even if you plant them sideways or upside down. It just speeds things up and gives them a better chance, less chance to go rotten. And that's literally all you have to do. Leave that outside somewhere cold throughout the winter. The only problem you might find is that they do need a cold spell. So if you are in a country that these don't grow naturally, then you may struggle a bit. You might have to mimic the winter to get your seed to germinate. So you can put them in the fridge for a few weeks. I think it only takes 2 to 4 weeks, but I'd leave them in there for a couple of months just to make sure. In the fridge, not the freezer. You don't want to freeze them solid for too long. So just put them in the fridge where it gets below about 5 degrees Celsius, or whatever that is in Fahrenheit, I have no idea. So we're back to this one out here, and this is probably about a year old, or not even a year old. So it would have germinated beginning of this year in the spring, and it's just grown throughout the year in here. Done quite well. We've had a bit of an early onset autumn, so a lot of things have thought that it's autumn, and then now they're trying to regrow. So, but it should be fine, and this will survive in there. I've got some other ones which I'll show you. But that's kind of what you got to expect in the first year. So about 8 to 10 inches of growth, depending on how you look after it and the conditions. And we've got this one here, which is probably about 2 years old, and I just did a recent video on turning this one into a bonsai, or starting its journey into a bonsai. So the first year you'll just get a little stick grow up straight pretty much, and then you get side branches the next year. So this will be on its second year, and I've placed some wire on it because I'm going to turn it into a little bonsai tree. So I'll show you a few of my more developed ones as well. So we've got this one here, there's a hazelnut as well, growing from seed, probably about 7 years old now, 6 or 7. And I've got a few more as well. Yeah, I think there's another one under here, same age as the other one, but I've done some more drastic chops on this one. Bit funny looking, but I'm trying to grow them into little bonsai trees, little ornamental trees. And I think I've got another one somewhere amongst my jungle of trees. So this is my most advanced one. This is the same age as the other two which I just showed you. It's probably about 6 or 7 years old. But I've done a bit more work on this one, let it grow a bit more. It's just planted in a wash-nut bowl with some drainage holes and some compost mixed with gravel. And all these new shoots have grown this year. So we get about 1 to 18 inches of growth once the tree's healthy and grown nicely. And they do make good little trees. You can keep them in pots. Their leaves do get quite big, but the more you chop them back, you do get smaller leaves come in. Okay, so hope you found that video useful. Any other questions, let me know down below. So we've got our little pot of seeds which I just harvested. Like I said, I probably won't even grow these. I might do just for this video. I might just plant them all somewhere and update you on them in the future, if there's enough interest anyway. But my other hazelnut videos have been quite popular, so anyway guys, so thank you very much for watching. Hope you're all good. I'll see you on the next one.